All right, well, let's get started, shall we? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broker Connect. I'm Alex. I'm stepping in for Kelly today. Still some folks joining, but we're going to go ahead and get started. My name's Alex. Like I said, I'm so glad you could join us today. For those who don't know, Broker Connect is an interactive bi-weekly meeting with top brokers and ARIVE users where you can learn best practices, get insight into how other brokers are using the system, and get a ton of tips. So I'm here today with Melissa Lape and Jessy Printz from Coast to Coast Mortgage Lending, and I'm so excited to have them here. But before I turn it over to them to introduce themselves, before we open up to the floor to your questions, we have a few pieces of business to take care of. So for those who don't know, we offer a ton of weekly learning opportunities, and they're all free. We have onboarding and Q&A sessions offered every Monday and Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. This is one step in your ARIVE training if you're a new user. And we recently split this into two sessions. So Monday we have user settings and account configuration class, plus Tuesday's company admin training. We also have two sessions of new user training every Wednesday, part 1 and part 2. We have ARIVE live Q&A with our product experts every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We also have special processor specific training on Wednesdays, and we have an AE training session offered once per month on the second Wednesday. Next is August 14th, so make sure you join. So if you want your AEs to be better versed on the system and better partners to you, send them this training. ARIVE University is also every other Friday. This is where you can learn about all the updates and enhancements that we add to the ARIVE platform. And then, of course, we have Broker Connect, like today, every other Friday. So more info on all these events can be found on arrive.com/events, and you can sign up for them there as well. So let's dive into today's Broker Connect. Melissa, Jessy, welcome, and thank you for being here. Why don't you introduce yourselves really quickly and your brokerage, and we'll get into some questions. So thank you both for being here. Going to kick things off with a couple questions and we can open up for everybody on the call. So go
Awesome.
ahead, Jessy and Melissa.
Jess, you want to start out? Okay, I'll start. Yeah, so I came actually from the retail side about a year and a half ago, and I made the change to the wholesale side just because I wanted to be able to offer more products to my clients. I actually, on the retail side, was in a position where I was having to turn some transactions away because we just didn't have the products. And I just want to be able to have more opportunity for my clients, for my referral partners. And so I'm really loving it so far. I just like being able to have a plethora of, opportunity to help service my clients.
That's a much more wholesome introduction than I'm going to give. Mine's going to feel like it's laced with lots of retail trauma. I spent 11 and a half years in retail, and I think especially my first shop spent a lot of time telling me why broker was essentially the devil. And now I understand why. Actually, my second retail shop, they said there's a lot of money to be made by keeping people in the dark. So it was very eye-opening and kind of one of those, when things get tough, you have to look for the alternate routes. And last year was very much about that, and spent a lot of time researching where I was going to go, and very fortunate to have landed with the Coast to Coast team. It's a wonderful place to be. And when I first encountered ARIVE, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm coming out of Encompass. So it's just kind of magical. And I got to bring my amazing, just best in the industry ops team with me as well. So it's really a great platform for us to all be able to work together.
Thank you guys so much for your introduction. Yeah, so let's open up the floor to some questions. Go ahead and hit Jessy and Melissa with any questions you have about ARIVE, how they're using it, what they've learned, any cool tips, tricks. Come on, someone's got to jump in. I know you guys have questions.
I've got one.
Let's hear it.
As their IT and marketing plant, how has ARIVE been for you guys, just compared to other LOSs, especially? I don't know if either of you, I'm sure you've had, but any experience with Encompass compared to this guy?
Yeah, so I used to use Encompass on the retail side, and I feel like this is very user friendly. It's very easy to navigate through to the different tabs and areas, you know, where we're inputting property detail information, borrower asset information. The ARIVE chatbot is awesome. You know, anytime I've had something that I needed assistance with, I just pop open the chat tab and they've been right there to help me immediately navigate through whatever the issue is.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also, as I mentioned, coming out of Encompass. And I think for me, the biggest pain point. So prior to my last retail shop, I was working in a proprietary web-based LOS, and it was great because I had speed. Then I went backwards in technology to Encompass, and I cannot believe how much time I lost to even just setting up a file. Trying to do a pre-qual would take every bit of 30, 40 minutes to an hour just to get through and run, you know, AUS. So to be able to just kind of click, 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 be able to see everything in really easy. I mean, I can even do it from my cell phone. It will accurately run credit and AUS from any of my mobile devices. So the time savings alone is, I mean, I literally probably almost wanted to cry when I came out of Encompass into ARIVE.
100%. I remember being at my daughter's track meet last year and a realtor reached out and said, "Hey, I need an updated pre-approval. We're changing our offer." And I was able to do it right from my mobile device. Cannot do that with Encompass at all.
And that's a quality of life thing, because if you know that you can't do it from your current platform and you're sitting at your daughter's track meet, whether we are doing our best to be those present working moms or not, like it's still that little monkey on your back and you're like, oh, like when, you know, you're not rushing through the family event that you're at, but it definitely creates a different feeling. So if you have to be in a position where you got to fire that off, it really makes it's literally a quality of life issue at that point.
100% agree.
And I don't know if anyone else has come out of used Flowify. I used Flowify at you know, in the past, and I really liked a lot of the functionality that it offered. And I really feel like ARIVE kind of has the best combination of some of those functionalities in terms of the document uploads, being able to decline an upload if it, you know, is missing information or is not legible, or, and then also for me, I'm a big one-to-many person, and I want to be able to create consistency in our process. We really want to be, and thank God for Kendra and Shannon, because they also subscribe to this theory, but we want to be like Chick-fil-A of mortgage land, and everything should end with a my pleasure. And every time you order the sandwich, it better taste the same way. So I've really, really liked being able to customize our milestones and use those to our advantage as well. I think that's made a huge difference in creating some consistency. And then also for auditing purposes, if we, you know, an agent comes back like, oh, well, you didn't tell me that came in. Actually, yeah, July 12th at 9:59 a.m., I can go to the email logs and be able to say, hey, we actually did send that to you. Here's the message, you know, et cetera. Makes a big difference.
Hey, and on the customization topic, things like the pre-approval letter, a lot of things that we've been able to play with, rules for the needs list, a lot of stuff that I appreciate that we from the corporate side can turn on to allow our LOs to individually customize that stuff too, until I go in and mistakenly replace all of their customizations for the entire company on a Saturday. But
no idea what you're talking about.
Do you want to touch on any of that stuff? It's really been great not to have to turn to a Word document template.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just nerdy enough to just enough rope to hang myself, right? So and the ARIVE user group on Facebook is actually full of really great suggestions. There was a few months ago, there was it seemed to be like a theme of everyone kind of sharing their milestone updates, their pre-approval template for like it's a very collaborative environment, it seems, and we'll often go there and post questions as well. But if you go search some of these micro topics inside the ARIVE Facebook group, you can find a lot of this information there as well. But it allows you to brand yourself in the confines of a very structured environment, which is very helpful. And Anthony, it doesn't have an app, but it's device agnostic. So when you go to, like, for us, it's coasttocoast.arive.com, I think. And I just have it saved as on my home screen. So it will load in a mobile friendly way if you need to get to it from your phone.
I have a question on the CRM. Do you use any CRMs, and does ARIVE work with any particular CRM?
ARIVE team, as long as it's okay for me to make a comment about who I use, and I'm happy to elaborate on that.
course.
Okay, so I am a huge RAD CRM, RAD, RAD fan. They have mastered, and I use some others, and I use the Zapier tools. Like I set those up to be able to map to some of the other CRMs, but RAD is amazing. And it's built by an LO. He was a very high producing LO. He shares a lot of the same kind of tisms as I do around wanting things to be a certain kind of way. And it's been the easiest way for us to kind of bolt on. And again, I have a pre-approval specialist and an underwriting guide and processor role on my team. So we all need to be able to see all of these things. And the way that ARIVE is built, and it's so friendly that it can translate and speak to some of these other CRMs, I really could not endorse RAD more highly.
And we do as a company also have Surefire from Black Knight as an option. So if anybody wants to opt in, we can flip them on. And thank goodness for Jenna and the rest of the team for helping us get hooked up with some folks. Zapier, when it's set up correctly, can do some really neat things. And as long as it's configured correctly there, and I appreciate too that the ARIVE team is continuously updating the API. So we're getting more and more fields available, which has been really helpful. So the last time I had integrated with Surefire specifically, I had done it from our Encompass data. We ended up also using Zapier, and it was seamless. Every single field was there, but there's a lot of setup and maintenance to it, and it's been a lot easier on the web-based side. But
So this configuration you're talking about, do we do in the ARIVE side, or do we do the configuration with the Zapier?
so your ARIVE data using the ARIVE API in Zapier, it's all customized within Zapier, but it pulls from ARIVE and then it can send to your CRM. But
No,
it's
my question is the
that's
configuration.
what's that?
The question is the configuration you do at the ARIVE end, or do you use? Okay,
It's on the Zapier side, yeah.
Zapier side. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure. Mel, do you have any experience in that? I know I do a bit of this for you on the back end, but
Yeah, I actually use the Surefire platform and I really like it. So as soon as we're entering our client's information into ARIVE, it automatically preloads into our Surefire. We can send realtors milestone updates, send them market updates. What I really love about that platform as well is I've had realtors recently, reach out to me and ask if we could co-market, and I can actually build individualized websites for them for their listing, and I can have their information to actually schedule a showing on there, and as well as mine with some market updates and a link to apply right to my ARIVE. So I really love that platform.
yeah.
And Ricky helps me with all of the cool stuff. So
Which kind of helped me with.
Yeah, I'm curious on this website that you have for your realtors, the link that you have for them to apply, is that also a co-branded point of sale link through ARIVE, or is it just your regular point of sale link?
Ricky?
It's not co-branded through ARIVE, but it does just go to their individual link. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's also an option if you're working with that individual realtor quite often, and maybe you don't have a page built out already and she has a lead or he has a lead that they want to shoot you. Anytime you have a business contact within ARIVE, you can create a co-branded point of sale link. And so you can go and upload a picture for them. The realtor can do that as well, but oftentimes they won't. But it'll have your contact information and their contact information. So it kind of just keeps that seamless experience of, oh, I landed on this realtor's page. Now I'm comfortable with the finance piece and the realtor piece. Now I'm going to the finance piece. Oh, and it's consistent. I can still see both people that are on here. And also when you do it that way, it'll track the realtor as the referral source within ARIVE. So you'll automatically know who it came from.
We've missed you, Jenna.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think I heard about that right when we fired it up, and I don't think we've played too much with it. So we'll definitely on that.
Yeah. And it's great. Like even if you have title companies, HOI agents, CPAs, people that you're not going to go build a page out for, like a real realtor, that you can still give them co-branded point of sale links, and that's unlimited. So just as long as you as a business contact.
Can you upload their contact photo for them, since we all know they likely won't?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jessy, it's Anthony. Oh, go ahead. Somebody.
Yeah, I have a question about pre-qualification. I need like a quick pre-qual where I can put information about the purchase price, interest rate, and get a quick payment, but also DTI for qualification. In ARIVE, I notice it needs quite a bit of details. Is there any way we can get something that is quicker and more minimal than what it is currently in ARIVE?
And this might be a question for ARIVE team, but what if you, just so I understand your question, like what key pieces are you hoping to only have to enter in order to arrive at that pre-qual? So, I mean, some of that, or said differently, what do you feel like is too much information to get to that point?
Well, because I just need to add like income and expenses, and I already had the purchase price and the interest rate, and it gives me the mortgage payment and the DTIs. Whereas in ARIVE right now, I have to have the name, the email address, and even then, sometimes there's some field somewhere missing and it won't give me correct DTIs.
Gotcha. Yeah, I might punt that to ARIVE because I'm a little bit of a stickler. I hate surprises unless it's my birthday or my anniversary. So I'd rather force the hand and getting those things, lined up.
Hey, Jenna, that template, including the variables, is pretty customizable, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Lorinda, Adam, I was going to maybe ask you guys, I know that you do need to enter those key pieces of information as you have like a loan that you're teeing up and you want to generate the pre-approval letter through there. I'm not sure that there's another way outside of a loan file to just generate a pre-approval letter unless you're potentially like a company admin, because those documents aren't available to you. But I'll kick it to one of our product specialists, Adam or Lorinda, if you guys have any feedback on that.
Yeah, I understand you're saying pre-approval letter, and I totally understand how ARIVE works on that, and that's when you do an actual pre-approval letter. But my question was to do a quick pre-qual. Like, for example, a customer is on the phone and they're like, I make $8,000 a month, and I'm trying to buy a $600,000 home, or how much house that you think I can purchase. So you are on the phone and you can quickly put in all the information, and it gives you, for example, for 45 DTI, this is how much house you can buy.
So like an affordability calculator.
Yeah, in ARIVE right now, it's you have to have the contact as a lead, and then
I see.
There's so many fields that you have to enter before you get that information.
I see what you mean. That'd be helpful.
Somebody will say, I make $60,000 a year. And the last time I checked on Credit Karma, my credit was 740. About how much do you think we would get pre-approved for? I mean, so I understand that it's kind of hard to answer that without some of the other factors, but to do something very quickly, like what Jess was talking about, a calculator.
Right. We currently don't have that kind of calculator like readily available. We have the pricing engine that you can use without starting a lead or a loan, but yeah, ideally currently you would need to start at least a lead to calculate that information. But it is something we're looking at adding.
I don't know if any one of you are long enough to remember, I came back into this industry, but back in 2007, there was a very rudimentary program called What's Next. And it was so simple. You don't even need to put the person's name in there, and it will tell you the DTIs and how much you can qualify for.
Yeah, so Adam, Lorinda, Tara, I also noticed that you're on here. I don't know if it might be an option for them to create a custom document that just makes those fields open and editable. So maybe they can generate it within a loan file, but then as they've generated it, they can edit that and, key in maybe those DTIs or income or those types of fields. That might be another option, because you can create custom forms within ARIVE. So if that pre-approval letter doesn't work for you, it's got too much information, you want to create something custom, that is available for company admins to do. And then they just put it in. Now, again, you would still need to have a lead or a loan created, but at least if you do it that way, then you can store that pre-approval letter that you've created or that pre-qual letter that you've created for that borrower, and you have it to go back and refer to in the future.
Or some kind of a calculator tab that
I like
That's great feedback. So that brings up a really great point. ARIVE, in all honesty, continues to develop and move forward based off of the feedback that you guys are providing us. So, just like you said, this was a rudimentary tool that you used back in 2007. So it seems like something maybe we could put together. I always encourage you to drop this. Tara and Adam just put in their feedback at arrive.com. Please give us as much detail as possible. So if you've got screenshots, if you've got, formulas or things, scenarios that you can give us examples of, like, hey, this is something that I would often do for a borrower, let us know that, and then we can get that to the feedback team. Adam actually heads up and leads that team, and so we'll get that to the right people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, my name's Anthony. If I could jump in here real quick, regarding the pre-approvals and mobile devices, I noticed with ARIVE, when I go into my mobile device, I go to the URL link, I have it saved in my bookmarks and everything. But when I'm on my mobile device, I don't have the option for pre-approvals anymore. I have the whole screen there. I've got everything there, but I don't have an option for pre-approvals. And then the second part to my question is the pre-approval letter that's generated. Is there a way we can change it? Because if you hit a delete button, it changes the format and moves like the address all over the place. You're only allowed to, if you have it in as like a TBD, and you got to go to where it lists the town, the city, and then it says TBD. So you got to back off the TBD and then move over and enter the address. If you hit delete or anything like that, else it jumps all over the place. So if you could kind of answer those two questions, I'd appreciate it.
I think it's the use of tables in that formatting. So like, I think that's kind of on the back end. So I noticed that I have to select the text that I want to replace and then start typing over it to avoid that from happening. Same thing. So I think that's just like a little bit of a, tweaky kind of habit situation. But I also noticed on, sometimes on my phone, I'll have to unlock the orientation to be able to see all of the things. I don't know if it's how it's, will present, but like, in order to see the full width of the screen, I'll have to go to horizontal view to be able to see some of those buttons that are otherwise in the top right of a desktop screen.
Jesse, I've done that, and it's just not.
No?
Yeah, I've done all of that. I've zoomed in, zoomed out, done it all. I got it's just an Android phone. It used
You're just
to
not
be
supposed
there.
to work on the go.
Right. I had it prior because I remember seeing it on my phone, but it was this past week or so I had to jump on my phone to do it, and I couldn't find a pre-approval, so I had to call my assistant to help me out with it. So I don't know if it's an update and ARIVE that's had it removed or something like that. And then more so with the pre-approval letter, if there's a way we could change, like as owners, we could change the format to add a little bit more fluff to it, because the pre-approval is just this standard, 12-point text, Roman new. I mean, it's just, could we fluff it up a little?
You can. I totally did.
You can completely edit it, make it your own.
We got too many people. So obviously we can do it. That's good news. And what were you saying, Jesse? How did you change it?
Oh, I'll let ARIVE explain it much more succinctly, because I just go in and I'd start clicking until it looks like what I want it to look like.
Okay.
So yeah, you can click the edit button in the pre-approval letter. You can completely wipe it out and start from scratch if you needed to. We also have a code view where you can use HTML code to, copy and paste and edit your file that way. But yeah, you can completely make this your own. There's access to all kinds of loan information tags that you can tie to it as well.
Hey, Anthony, I just wanted to pitch this too, since you said you've got an Android phone. If you can use Google Chrome on your phone, there's if you hit the little dots or the burger or whatever options you get to get a side menu, if you hit request desktop site, it'll give you some more options. It tries to go into the mobile view, which I love, but you can get some extra features if you do that. And then when you kind of pinch out, it should show you the whole thing. It requires a little more finger movement to navigate around, but it should show you the full interface.
Rick, I thought you were going to tell him that what he needed to do is get off Android, and I was going
to, yeah, same.
I was literally going to I was going to say stop, because I'm an Android user, and so let me make your life easier, Anthony. So I'm going to present my screen really fast. So this is just a demo environment that we have. Everybody can see the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what a loan file would look like if you guys were on your mobile. I'm just replicating this on a desktop to show what the mobile experience would look like. Your pre-approval letter is going to be this little arrow. So if you hit that, that's actually your pre-approval letter. So it actually changes the icon a little bit when you get on a mobile device. So sometimes people get confused by that. So you might not need to jump through all those hoops. Just go and see if you can see the little, looks like a piece of mail.
This is why we love Jenna.
Actually just learned this little trick earlier this week from our CEO on a demo about how to actually display what it looks like on a mobile device from a website. So
that is awesome.
kudos to him.
You gotta be kidding me.
Was it there, Anthony?
Yeah. You know, as soon as she said it, I remembered the desktop version. I think it was Rick that was saying it. I think I went that way, but no, I got it now. So we're good on that.
Awesome.
And then the second part was the fluffing up my letter. And you guys covered that. So I'll tinker around with that and see where I go from there. Thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course. And guys, if you don't have it, I'll drop also our support portal. This is basically like your Google for Arrive. So if you guys are really self-sufficient, you want to go search something out, just use this as your Google search. Go type in pre-approval and you'll be able to go find, I'm sure, an article in here that's going to walk you through on how to generate the pre-approval letter and how to customize it. I've just found 2 of those articles here. So I'll drop those in the support chat also.
Right on. That's what Broker Connect's all about right there. Any other questions from anybody? I know we got a lot of folks. Feel free to, put your questions in the chat as well. If you're not comfortable unmuting or if you don't want to talk over anybody, but yeah, let's hear some more questions.
Eddie, yes, there is DocuSign or e-sign software built into Arrive, and we have initials now, which was like mega improvement.
Can I ask a question? Is it okay to ask a question?
Oh yeah,
of course, yeah.
I have a problem with my POS, and I did do a search in Arrive, and I found the common error, which is saying that it's not when somebody does their application, it doesn't cover their area, which is incorrect.
Yeah, I'll tell you how to fix that, Bella. This is a very common area that we find, and let me tell you, because it has multi-dimensions, so
okay,
I'd be missing one of these steps. So anytime you get a borrower and they get an error that says the loan officer that you're working with is not licensed in that state, it's just simply a licensing issue within Arrive, not with your licensing. So what you need to do is within your user settings, you need to make sure that you have all of your state licenses listed. If you're doing DSCR loans, if you're doing loans in states that you don't necessarily need to be licensed in and you are approved to do business in, they still need to be in your user settings. Otherwise, that warning message is going to present to the borrower. If you have them in your user settings, but you're still getting that error and you're in a branch, they need to be entered at the branch level. You can see yourself. Alex, if you could mute Matthew, sorry. If you're in a branch, they need to be entered at the branch level. So the branch needs to have state licensing as well. And so does the company. So it's multi-level. Anytime we run into this, I can usually figure out it's either at the company level that state license isn't listed, or it's at the user level, or if you're in a branch, it could be at the branch level too. But just get that license entered, reach out to your company admin, they'll be able to fix that. And you'll be good to go. That message won't present anymore.
Okay, because it didn't let me change. I think the branch one, I wasn't able to change.
Yes, you do have to be a branch admin in order to do that, or a company admin. So if you reach out to your admin, they'll be able to help.
Okay. Well, I have an unusual situation anyways, because I am actually paying for this. It's not through the company, and it got set up. They found a way that I could do it, but this one's still off. So can I talk to admin or the rep who set me up in the first place? Is that the way to go? Or
yeah, I would talk to your company admin because they have permissions to make any of those changes. If you still run into a problem, absolutely reach out to whoever set you up. We'll get you squared away.
Okay, and then when I tried to do I opened up my POS, I tried to do a form, and the first thing, of course, it asks your name, your email, and I entered that. I set up it. I got an email saying, yeah, your account's set up, click here. I did, and it doesn't save my information. It wants to have me log in as a user, not as a client. Does that make sense?
So there's two different links. Everybody, you have a link to get into your LOS. That's going to have your company NMLS in it, or your company can customize that. So it'll usually be like your company name. And then you have a completely separate link for your point of sale. When you're in your user settings, you can go to your profile picture or your image or your initials, go down to your borrower portal, copy that link. That's for your clients to go visit. So those are two separate links. So what I was telling people to do is take your LOS link that you're going to log in as an originator every day to go and originate loans, to do that. Save that as one of your favorite pages and log in there. The other thing is when you do your multi-factor authentication, there is a button where it says, remember me for 30 days. You can click that so you're not having to do that text message each time as well.
Right. I was trying to do the POS with a different email so I could test it out to see what it was like. And that's the one that's not saving it. It's trying to make me, it only remembers me as the LOS.
Yeah, so what you should go do is you can, when you open up a web browser, you can open up incognito mode. So instead of just opening a regular browser, click the right-hand button, go incognito mode. That's going to forget all of your remembered logins and passwords, and so then you'll be able to access that. And then
I'll try that.
I'll drop in the link also. This is an article that'll tell you how to test the borrower's experience. So that'll walk you through all this.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It looks like we have quite a few questions in the chat.
Neely, welcome. And if you need anything, you can always reach out to, I'm sure, Mel or myself. I know what it feels like to drink from the fire hose the first couple of days that you come from that environment to this one. I promise you it's worth it. Like, promise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I saw that note also. If you've just moved over to non-DEL, we're more than happy to have a call with you, go through all of the company settings that are going to be available, the new features and functionality. It is a little bit overwhelming, but we're more than happy to help you with that. So reach out to support@arive.com and we'll get you squared away with a one-on-one. There was a note in here about a CRM. That's always a really big question that we get. So as you guys know, ARIVE does have some CRM capabilities already. We are doing drip campaigns throughout the entire loan process. So once you've got that in there as a loan and you start it through all of the milestones, we are dripping depending on the settings that you guys have set up throughout that process. What we don't do currently is we don't keep in touch with borrowers once that loan has been retired. It's been funded, adversed, archived. And so we're working on that. So we are going to have some future releases, that will include some emails that will go out on your behalf. Currently, I think we have 4 that are slated, and they're very similar to what you currently see within ARIVE on your dashboard. We do give you notifications when there's birthdays that are coming up, anniversaries, when MI drops off, and then we also have rate alerts that you guys can utilize. Currently, those are all notifications that are coming directly to the loan officer. They don't go out to the borrower. We're going to work on those initially to be the first campaigns that go out for you guys. So when there's a birthday and anniversary, MI is dropping off, or rate alert. So the rates have dropped and it's time to refinance. So those are going to be the first ones that we come out with. I don't have a firm ETA on that as of yet, but that's going to be our first attempt at giving you guys more CRM functionality. Always remember that if you are looking for a full-blown CRM, you are more than welcome to get on our Pro version, which has our Zapier integration. So earlier on this call, I dropped some links in. Jessy mentioned that she uses RAD. Rick and Melissa mentioned that they're on Surefire. There's a plethora, hundreds and hundreds of CRMs out there that are super affordable that you can use and connect through Zapier if we're not already kind of checking those boxes. But please stay tuned, because ARIVE is constantly coming out with something new. So we'll have updates for you guys on that.
Hello. I wanted to ask you guys about, I guess, the eSign integration on there, because I'm very new to it. I just moved from Calyx Point to ARIVE, so it's a whole different. I was in the 90s. I'm in 2300 now.
Yeah, Jessy, Melissa, do you guys use our eSign tool?
We do, and Shannon also uses it on our team quite a bit too, from the kind of processing-ish side. So absolutely. Melissa, sorry, I cut you off.
I was just saying that, yes, we use it. I will a lot of times send our intent to proceed for DocuSign right when we get the contract, because sometimes we get the disclosures, they don't sign them quick enough. And a lot of my realtor partners are very eager to get the inspections done. And so as long as we have that intent to proceed and ARIVE done, you won't have a cost to cure if they don't sign the lender's disclosure package prior to the inspection being done.
How would you go about like if you want to do an e-sign through your software? I mean, not have to use DocuSign.
So unlike the intent to proceed, there's actually a little tab when you open it that will say generate e-sign requirement, and you click on that, and then you can actually notate where you would need the client's signature, and then just hit generate, and it will automatically send it to them as a needs list task, and it will prompt them for a signature, and then you'll get a notification when it's been completed.
Okay, got it.
So basically you could use existing documents or upload your own document. Like if we need a custom letter of explanation or something like that, then we can upload the PDF. And when it's in the, like your documents portion of a loan file, then there will, as Melissa said, be that option to generate the e-sign need. And then it has familiar feeling, you know, drag and drop signature fields, date fields, name, things of that nature.
Right. Yeah, okay. I think maybe I haven't gotten that far that I actually click the send, or like, because I've generated the e-sign need, but I haven't gotten so far to the point that I send it, and maybe there's a step I haven't reached yet where it would tell me, you know, oh, you can go ahead and edit and put in the fill sign, or you know, whatever it is.
It'll actually just notify the client that there's a task there. And when they open that task, it will actually prompt them to sign already. So when you're setting it up, generating the e-sign task, you will notate on that document, kind of click with your mouse where the signature needs to go. And then when you generate it, it'll go to their task list. Once they sign, it'll notify you, and it's all done.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna take some more time exploring it and whatnot, and figuring it out. I did want to go back to the CRM. So you guys have basically an integrated CRM within ARIVE as well? Or like how would you get to that if you do have that? Would it be basically under the leads tab?
Yeah, so to speak to that, so we don't have an integrated CRM. We do have on our Pro plan Zapier, which is how you can connect to any third-party CRM that you choose. So there's a couple that were mentioned earlier on this call. What ARIVE does is we communicate to your borrower throughout the loan process. We're not communicating before you've got them in as a lead or a loan, and we're not communicating once that loan funds or it's been, you know, adversed. So that's where we don't really have a lot of functionality. So we see our brokers use third-party tools in Zapier to reach out to their clients and do drip campaigns to kind of stay in top of mind. But we are coming out with future functionality. So if you are looking for a CRM right now, then I definitely would, you know, look at some of the ones that were mentioned earlier that I posted, or even go into the Facebook group, because that's another really great place to just go search CRM and see, you know, what brokers are using and what they think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I also, Eddie, I dropped on your comment how to set up your e-signing. It looks like you probably already have that turned on. So on our Pro plan, you do get to use the ARIVE built-in e-sign tool. We don't charge you per signature, per initial, any of that. You just need to enable it in your settings. And then I also am going to drop in there creating client need rules. So that's another area where you can create a client need, just like they were saying. It'll go to your client. They'll be able to go into their point of sale, sign that electronically. It'll drop right back into your loan file. So I'll put that in the chat as well.
Okay, on the Pro plan, so it basically you have to have the Pro plan to use your e-sign,
correct,
or DocuSign, right? The DocuSign
no,
integration.
if you have a DocuSign account, you can use that on our core platform. You do not need to be on Pro. You just need to go into your user setting.
Oh, okay, but you have to pay for DocuSign already on your own, basically.
Yeah,
on your side. Okay.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people will tend to go to Pro, because it's just more affordable to use our built-in e-sign tool than it is to have.
Right.
So,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, thank you.
great questions.
Hello, I got a quick question.
Absolutely.
So my name's Daniel. My question is, whenever I have a client that needs to do a letter of explanation, and of course you sign it, when I fill out the box or give them an area to be able to put in their letter of explanation, if their sentence runs on too long, it cuts off the sentence instead of like wrapping the tool, wrapping the sentence or whatnot. So it just seems like it cuts off at like a sentence and a half, and if their sentence is 3 seconds long, I don't get the other sentence and a half, in other words. So is there...
Yeah, that's great feedback. I haven't heard that in the past, Daniel. So if you have a particular loan file where this has happened, can shoot that over to our support team. We absolutely want to investigate that. We're always making tweaks. So if there's something that's not sitting right on the e-sign tool, we can absolutely adjust it.
I believe
Yeah.
So I thought I sent it again to the client. I made the box even bigger, but all it did was just give them it didn't wrap. It just doesn't word wrap.
Okay. Yeah. If you could send us into support@arive.com the loan file number, we can go back and we can do that research.
Okay.
We have actually had this exact same scenario where it cuts off an explanation. And so Kendra part of our team did a little digging in the ARIVE Facebook group. And apparently you have to use a multi-text instead of using that big text box, which is what I used to do as well, thinking they could just enter in a big paragraph if needed. You have to put in several multi-text lines so that it will almost like go to the next line when they run out of space. I have not done that yet because we just figured this out. But that's what we found so far.
You're brilliant, Shannon.
Well, it's the Facebook group and all these other brilliant people too.
Yeah, I mean, we can't plug the Facebook group enough. Like, in all honesty, we have so many power users that are honestly experts on a level that I will never be. And so sometimes they can get to answering your questions before our support team ever even gets to them. And also the search feature is amazing because you can find posts. And, kind of to Jessy and Melissa's point, I think at the beginning of this conversation, they were saying, sometimes a broker gets really excited about something like updating templates, and that's just becomes the rage in the group. And then everybody gets to upgrade their templates and everybody has, a better branding and those types of things moving forward. We also have users that are like, put on their own trainings because they're just really passionate about it and they want to help the community. So absolutely utilize our Facebook group. It looks like we have a couple more questions. Oh, Lorinda is awesome. She's been getting to all of those. Cool. What else, guys?
I could jump in again. Sorry, I was trying to do the pre-approval while everybody was talking to just follow the steps. I guess to be honest with you, I mean, you can change what you want on the pre-approval. So I saw that with all the options there. I was able to change my signature, but besides that, nothing else can be changed. It's not like a Word document that I could enter in there. All the texts are still the same font. So is that accurate? Like you can't change that, or is there an ability to change that?
You need to go into your user settings. Are you just looking in a loan file and trying?
No, I went into user settings. I went into my company settings. I went into both. They both have the same options of being able to do things, but the font and just the way that it looks cannot be changed except the signature, unless I'm wrong.
I'll go check it out for you, Anthony. I'll shoot you a DM.
Thank you.
Anthony, you can like literally copy paste and replace the entire document with anything you want.
Not on my computer, or I'm just not savvy enough to change it.
I was just going to go check. Are you a company admin for your company?
I am.
Okay.
Like I said, it's just all for fluff.
Well, that matters. That's client experience. Because if you go to sit it down at a restaurant and they hand you, a piece of paper that was printed out on a daisy wheel printer, you're already going to make assumptions about what their food's going to taste like. So I don't think it should be diminished to fluff. I think that's just part of your branding.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, in this market, we need literally anything and everything we could do just to be a step above.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a video after this, Anthony, but you can edit it from your company settings. If you just go to pre-approval letter, you can literally like, drop your cursor down and drag the whole document and just delete it if you wanted to and completely start from scratch. But yeah, if as a company admin, you can do this for the entire company, and then each user also has some customization on their user settings as well. But I'll shoot you a loom to make sure we get you squared away. All right, guys, we've got 10 minutes. What other questions do we have?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hey Nick, what's going on?
Oh, well, I just switched over after several years of using Flowify, and my renewal came up, and Porch has increased the renewals by 65%. I said, oh, wait, ARIVE can collect documents, so I decided to check it out. So one thing is, as far as just looking for the like kind usability and adjustments, like the auto nag feature. I call the auto nag when they haven't sent you the documents yet. I just, as far as navigating around and finding it and typing it in the support portal and things like this, like I had to go into a loan and then to the loan center, and oh, there it is right there. And I loved ARIVE, or I'm sorry, Flowify. Is there any tips that someone who's just fresh off going with Flowify as far as navigating to find the like kind stuff that we used in Flowify?
What were the most important features to you in Flowify? What were your favorite things?
Just quickly doing one-off documents, doing e-signing on the fly, the auto nag feature. But today's Friday, so today's, part of my working on my business, not in the business, so I'm going to do that today. So yeah, just that quickness, and I guess maybe it's just learning, where it is in the menu system, I guess.
Yeah, I think once you build the muscle around it, I think you're going to find that it's as easy or easier than Flowify. I remember starting in Flowify, and I kind of felt like I was learning a bit of a new language, just because every software is going to have its own language, really, I think. And once you get the hang of it, I'd say just go in and play and poke around in the loan file, because it's very, very intuitive in my mind. And then the milestones, the ability to customize the milestones, is a drug I've been chasing for 3 years, and I can do that in ARIVE. So that's
once I found that section, I've got, oh, okay, this is easy enough, and yes, I will get on the well, I'm a member of the Facebook group, but I just have to dig into that more as well. So
yeah, Nick, I think this is a good opportunity to plug our Q&A session. So we have live Q&A that we do Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, where our product specialists like Lorinda, Adam, Vince, Tara, they get on and they basically just give you the hours. So they've got, their environment pulled up. We can display in a test environment different things, but we could walk you through, what does a point of sale look like? How do people set up their settings? It's really only one page within your company settings. So it's pretty simple, but it is really powerful. You can do a lot of really neat things by like adding additional questions on there. So one question that we see a lot is, do you have solar panels? But one that I would have liked to ask when I was a third-party processor is like, do you have IRS payments that you're making? Because a lot of times they don't tell you that, and that can kill a deal.
Oh, yeah.
So you can build additional questions and then client need rules around those questions that say, hey, based off how they answer this question, go ahead and ask them for, their tax payment information. Or their alimony or their child support, if they're separated or if they're divorced. So I really encourage you to come to one of those sessions, but we also have a ton of videos that will drop in this link as well, and just how-to articles that go step by step. So it's really straightforward. And Nick, like she said, I think you're really going to enjoy it. There's a lot of automation that you can build into it. So once that borrower submits the application, you're automatically going, all right, I know he's a veteran. I know that he's self-employed now. I know that he's divorced. I need to get all of these documents from him, and really save you and your processor a lot of time, chasing those documents down. The other cool thing about our point of sale is when a borrower uploads something, say it's a picture of something, a picture of a driver's license or of a bank statement, we automatically convert that into a PDF for you and drop that into the loan file. So again, just trying to save you guys some time.
Does it also like say if people are missing? Oh wait, I guess that would just be like my PDF editor that I already have. So,
Well, so
another question.
Well, Nick, we do have editability on PDFs as well. So if you guys
Okay.
have like a PDF that you need to, you know, merge, separate, divide, you need to annotate, you need to write a note on it, you can do that within ARIVE.
Or put this page in the proper order,
Correct.
so it's not page
Absolutely.
1, page 5, page 4.
Yes.
You know, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm just kind of digging deeper into it now, and you know, might as well fully utilize what I'm already paying for. So.
Right. Yeah. Jesse, Melissa, do you guys have any client need rules that are kind of unique that you have built out that you think are just really cool and kind of have either saved a deal or saved you time?
I don't know about unique, but I think forcing the hand of getting tax returns when they are self-employed, that certainly is, you know, because part of it too is a lot of this is life is about managing expectations. So, you know, if somebody puts all their information in, it says you checked all the boxes and they're like, well, I just gave you everything and now you're asking me for more. So I think that helps to navigate some of that client expectation process too. So even things like that, just as simple as if self-employed, we're requesting these tax returns really makes a difference. Or if they have other REO requesting HOI, mortgage statements, anything that might come with that as well.
You know, another thing I just thought of, you know, like that kind of triggered that is having like 1003 fields that are required, you know, like so like with Flowify, when they go to review, you'd have the red X's of the stuff that they need to address, you know, because sometimes if people leave blank, did they go, oh, I don't get retirement income, you know, versus you know, they just didn't see it, you know. So ARIVE has that functionality as well, right? That it requires certain fields, and then we can adjust it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that on the company level, and you can also adjust that on a user level. So you can accept partial applications if you want, but if you're like, look, I don't want it unless they filled everything out, you can make that a requirement.
And last question, I promise. Your lead section, you know, not the loan section. So if I'm having stuff from a CRM or you know, maybe a opt-in page or something like that, like when I have just like source fields or loan tags that are quick things like needs credit repair, DSCR loan, blah, blah, blah. Is there much additional fields that we can add at all to the lead tab section of ARIVE? Or different sources, or is that like an admin thing, or is, you know, company admin thing, or what have you?
Yeah, you absolutely can. You can customize lead sources. So you have a lead form config, and then you also have lead management, which will allow you to track which sources and add additional sources as well.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
If I could jump back, it's Anthony again with all these questions. The loan format, you know, you pick conventional, FHA, VA, DSCR, you have HELOC in there, but you don't have one for a home equity loan. So I just been manipulating the system to make it work. Or what's the workaround on that? Or is that something up and coming?
Lorinda, Adam, Tara, do one of you guys want to tackle that?
I'm happy to tackle that one, actually, Jenna.
Oh, John, I didn't see you.
I popped in.
Hey.
We do have HELoan that we're adding to the system. I think that's what you're talking about, Anthony. Is that correct?
Yeah, you got it, John. Just a home equity loan.
Yeah, so you can currently set it up in the system as a second mortgage, a fixed second. We are adding it though as a separate, easier option in the coming, I think, month or two. I don't have an ETA on it exactly. If you're having success with it currently, though, keep doing that. Know that we're just going to make it easier to simply select HELoan in the coming months.
Right. I mean, right now, John, all I'm doing is I'm selecting the HELOC because it puts it in as a second, but it's not, you know, totally accurate on everything as far as, because then it asks for the first draw and, you know, other questions related to the HELOC. So just a bit of a workaround is all I've been doing at the
Yeah.
moment.
If you can give me a minute, I can private message you exactly how to set it up currently.
Oh, you're the best. Thanks, John.
Yeah, give me a minute. Let me
Yeah.
dig up. We have some notes on it.
All right, thank you.
Oh, awesome, guys. Well, we are at the top of the hour, so Alex.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Jessy, Melissa, you guys are awesome. We're so lucky to have brokers to come host with us and answer all these different questions. Everybody has questions, and thank you for everybody who asked. You know, there's no dumb questions, right? So something that you're thinking about, odds are most people in here are thinking about as well. So it's really awesome to see all of you in here and to you know, just interact with one another and learn from another. So thank you to the ARIVE team as well. Jenna, you're obviously a superstar. Thank you, John, Adam, Lorinda, everybody else in here that helped out. So yeah, we hope to see you next time. Again, we host these every other Friday, so hope to see you next time. If you have any questions that didn't get answered, please feel free to reach out to us, search the Facebook. Obviously, we have our support site, all of our live events. You can go to arrive.com/events to join those, ARIVE Q&A, all of that fun stuff. So again, thank you so much for coming. Can't wait to see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.